is, how about I do a good cringe out loud? I'm sorry, I can't hear. You know what, I'm going to call on people in the back too. So if you can step up with your question, that way I can actually hear you.
Basically, the series like Dynasty Wars and Samurai Wars are uncredited voice roles.
Right.
Blaze Blue is one of them.
Yeah.
Basically, there was like some issues like with Hazama, obviously the green dude, led by Ace Cole.
Right.
Basically, Hazama Cerulean. Their English voice apparently, people assumed it to be Doug Burkholz, aka Shimaru. But then it was actually Eric Day. But then people kept discussing back and forth days or Doug Burkholz. But it's Burkholz and Stan. And since Blaze Blue isn't credited, it's really hard to find out. And how do we really find out? I mean, like, sure, no one would have ever known your genius surviving Blaze Blue because you didn't find the credits. How would we know? I mean, we only have 4 years for a while. I mean, I'm not sure how many people found out Michelle Love was called Folklore.
Yeah. Well, what I would say is that there are uncredited roles that you want to know about them. The great thing about technology today is that you can actually get in contact with the voice actor and ask them. And I actually there was a series or a video game that just came out recently, Tales of Grace's Act. That was a character named Richard. And here's the thing, just so you guys understand, when it comes to video games, a lot of times they're highly secretive about who's participating in what. So when we go in and we get the job, we have to sign what's called an NDA, it's a non-disclosure agreement, which means that we're forbidden from talking about it legally until it's released. So I actually had, because I've got my Facebook page, and I hope you all friend me. I hope you do. But the point that I'm saying is that we can't legally say anything. So I had actually a few people contact me, email me, or contact me via Facebook and ask me. And I legally couldn't say it, but as soon as it came out, I could, so I just confirmed it myself. So if you're wanting to know how to find out about an uncredited role, and you want to find out who the voice actor is, who you suspect you think it is, contact and ask them. A lot of times we're nice people, and we'll answer you that. Okay. What? I can't hear you, brother.
And that's like official people, like folks post on Wikipedia and other sources, right?
Yeah. Well, Wikipedia is fairly accurate. I honestly haven't. I've got Wikipedia, and I don't know who the heck put it up, but it's pretty accurate is what I see. Okay. Question next.
But edible. You don't be doing it.
They can.
As you know, Grimdom has a huge fan base, and a lot of fans come up with different nicknames, and one of the famous ones is Grim. So I was thinking, in Grimdom's voice, if you could add like what you think his reaction would be.
Did you all hear that? What is this crap? Okay, all the way in the back with the pink thing around her neck.
I have 2 questions.
Come forward, please.
Go to the mic.
Yeah, go ahead. That way everybody can hear.
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
One is, what's the funniest moment you had in Ruth? And the other question is, I want to be a voice actor when I get older, so do you have any advice for me?
Absolutely. Okay, so 2-part question. First, I'll give you the advice. If you want to be a voice actor, how old were you in school?
in 7th grade.
7th grade. Okay. So start participating in theater. Do theater. If you want to be a voice actor, do theater. Okay? Because that's where you're going to learn your craft. Because voice acting, what is part of that? It's acting. Voice acting. Do as many shows as you can. You're in the 7th grade, so you have got opportunity to just wait for you. Because your schools, from 7th grade all the way until you graduate from high school, there's going to be a lot of plays that are going to be available to you. So do theater. I got my degree in journalism, but while I was getting my degree in journalism from university, I also did a lot of theater. I did all the plays. So do as much theater as you can. And then after you graduate from college, then you can start pursuing it. There's a lot of different venues. You know, likely, if you want to make a career, you'll have to move to a larger city like Los Angeles or New York or Chicago. But the way technology is going, the way it is nowadays, by the time you graduate, you may not have to. Because I'll tell you what, and I digress, but a lot of my auditions that I do now, I used to have to drive around studios every day to audition. Now, I've got a home studio in my house. Probably 10% of my auditions are outside going to the studios. We record all the bookings at the studios, but my auditions come from my home studio. And then the rest of them, are going out. So that may change as you grow older, but my best advice to you right now is do as much theater as you can. Okay? So, you got it. And as far as funny moments in the booth, and this is one that I've told you before, or I've told at a con before, but I gotta take that. I was reporting Gun Sword. Okay? And for those of you who have not seen Gun Sword, the character that I played is Vaughn of the Dawn. And Vaughn is this really melancholic, lazy, I'm Vaughn of the Dawn. Okay, and the whole series is like this, unless he goes into a rage. And so, one of the other voice or characters is a character named Michael. And Michael's a 14-year-old annoying character. And he is voiced by a remarkably talented actor by the name of Yuri Lowenthal. And so, Yuri, the character, just so you know, is really high-pitched, really annoying, and he's this annoying kid. And so, as we were recording the series, I kept on hearing Yuri's voice, in this annoying kid voice. And so, I started practicing his voice in my car. On the way. To see if I could do it. Well, I could. And so, we're in the booth, and we're recording. It's halfway through the series when Michael comes in. And all of a sudden, I just bust out with, we finished doing a take of Vaughn of the Dawn. And I just busted into Yuri's voice.
Vaughn! Come on, Vaughn! Vaughn!
And so, Leo O'Brien and Julie, they're directing, and he's like pressing the buttons. He's like, where's Yuri coming from? That was really funny. Aaron.
Two quick questions too. One, if they were to make another Blaze Blue game, would you want to play Jin again?
Yes. That guy's awesome. Come on, better.
And two, do you really enjoy yourself playing as Jin?
Do I enjoy playing myself as Jin?
And do you enjoy voicing Jin?
Oh, I love it. I love it. He's such an awesome character, and because the obsession with his brother. Brother. How awesome is that? It's just funny because it's fun because he's a funny character, he's crazy, and it's a blast to laugh on.
Let me Grim Joe is Ichigo's uncle. His voice is Ichi Kurosaki.
Probably. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, they put the robot filter over it. Well, because Hakumen, that's just part of the character, they put that robot filter over. I don't know exactly why they developed the character that way, but that's just part of the character, is that they do Now when I do Hakumen, as opposed to Jin Kisaragi is right in this register. Hakumen's a lot more down here. I am the white boy. Huh? I don't know the whole thing. All I know
There's the white.
I am the white boy.
I am cold steel.
I am the cold steel. Tell your friends about it.
I will read the
The end has come, right? Okay. Bring your shirt right next to you.
You played BGK.
Yes. Thank you.
Was it hard at all to get into a more, you said you play a lot of crazy or non-cult characters, was it difficult at all to get into a more regal, prideful person like GK when it came to that character and how he developed?
You know what? That's a great question. It is a little bit more challenging because I have to go, because I kind of go into a niche of crazy David Vincent characters. But in going into a more regal character, and I was actually reading somewhere that they were wondering why I did that with Richard, with Tales of Graces, and because that's what the character calls for. It's a real character, and so he's going to be a different voice than say a crazy Gene. So a lot of that has to do with working with a good director, and when you work with a good director and they want that regalness, they're going to bring that regal out of you. And yet, it can be a bit of a challenge. You have to have that Rolodex in your head of voices, and you have to be able to go into the zone of being regal as opposed to being crazy or whatnot. So yeah, absolutely. Let's take one. The gentleman in the blue shirt right back there. Yes, you.
This is actually a two-part question.
All right.
Number one, have you ever considered live cinema acting or maybe singing like in a heavy metal band?
I do act on camera. Occasionally. I've done guest starring spots on NCIS. I've done guest on a lot of different TV shows. The majority of the stuff that I focus on is voiceover work. But yeah, I have. I've done a lot of theater. I've done a lot of TV. I've done a lot of I've done some film work as well. Okay, there's a gentleman right back there. You got the peace sign. You. The what? Oh, I'm sorry. You have a two-part, and I'll come back to you. Go ahead.
Second part is I do a lot of voice impersonation myself, and I was wondering if I wanted to get a little recording reel together and ship it out, who would I ship it to?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so if you've got a reel that you want to send out,
To record one myself.
what's
I
that?
don't have one yet, but I'm thinking about maybe putting one.
If you're gonna make a demo reel, you can go to a website called voices.com or voice123.com. Go on there, listen to a number of different demos. You can actually upload your own demo and start submitting yourself. Now, the majority of the stuff is all going to be commercial and TV work, or I mean commercial and radio. But you can do that and start submitting your own stuff. If it's animation, it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge, but you're very close to San Francisco here.
Yeah, I've been up there quite a few times.
Yeah.
I used to go to school up there with the artists.
Yeah, so what I'd recommend is it Viz out of San Francisco?
Yeah.
Viz Media. So find different production companies around, and there's a lot of video game companies up here. Find them and submit your demo.
Because I'm in game art and design, and sometimes you create a character, sometimes you might be voicing the character you make yourself.
Right.
It's entirely possible.
Yeah, and submit yourself. Submit yourself. Okay, the gentleman that I had called on earlier.
Alright, seeing as how you played martial law in Tekken and also, were you familiar with the character, and what was it like voicing that character, just being a part of Tekken?
That's an awesome question. I love that question. What he asked me is, for what it was, what was it? Was I familiar with the character of martial law before I started voicing him?
And what was it like?
And what was it like? Well, I'll tell you right now, it was a lot of fun. It was a load of fun, because martial law has been one of my favorite characters since the series began. Bruce Lee, martial law is in Tekken, okay? And he is a character that is based loosely on Bruce Lee, which, when I was a kid growing up, Bruce Lee